More than 70% of Americans suffer from a traumatic event at some time in their life. An estimated 1 out of every 9 women develop PTSD, making them about twice as likely as men. 75% of children that experience school shootings are likely to develop PTSD or PTSD symptoms. 60% of abused and sexually assaulted children are more likely to develop PTSD. Those are just some of the facts associated with PTSD. However, what is PTSD? PTSD is defined as a psychiatric disorder that occurs after a traumatic event has taken place. These events can include natural disasters, serious accident, terrorist attacks, war and combat, rape, and other violent associate assaults. PTSD is taken into consideration through a timeline of the way the symptoms present themselves. It's broken down into 3 categories. Acute PTSD, chronic PTSD, and delayed PTSD, which are on the duration of the symptoms. Acute PTSD symptoms are less than 3 months long. Chronic PTSD symptoms last more than 3 months long. Delayed PTSD symptoms do not start until 6 months or longer after a trauma has occurred. These symptoms range in a variety of different aspects. Some include recurrent distressing dreams, difficulty sleeping, avoidance to thoughts, feelings, or conversations that may trigger a flashback associated with the trauma, reduced interest in related activities, intense and psychological distress to cues, detachment or estrangement feelings. To obtain a diagnosis of PTSD, a patient must present 1 re-experiencing symptom, an avoidance symptom, an arousal or reactivity symptom, and 2 cognition and mood symptoms for at least a 1-month duration. Re-experiencing symptoms are known as flashbacks. Avoidance symptoms are avoiding thoughts, feelings, places, events, or other objects that are a reminder of what has occurred or happened. Arousal symptoms, constantly being triggered by situations or places that someone may go, may cause stress and anger, making daily tasks harder to complete. Cognition and mood symptoms typically worsen after the event has occurred, makes the person feel alone and detached from friends and family. With every step along treating somebody with PTSD, there's steps of treatment that can vary from person to person. Some of those treatments are cognitive behavioral therapy, cognitive processing therapy, medications, prolonged exposure to what has caused the trauma, eye movement desensitization, reprocessing, and narrative exposure therapy are just a few. One of the biggest that was expressed as being a positive for treating somebody with PTSD is time. Time is of a critical matter. Now I'm going to close with reading a poem that was written by someone who has a family member that is suffering from PTSD. The evil within. I went from training and then to war. The life I knew would be no more. Trained to fight, trained to kill. Bad memories, they linger still. Disturb my sleep, sweats and screams. With me they stay. Nightmare dreams. They haunt me now. The sights, the smells, the things I learned to do so well. The scars not seen, the demons I hide, So many things I feel inside. Sometimes angry, sometimes sad, sometimes can't help it. I get mad. Things I've seen, things I've done, and no are not things I'd wish on anyone. The war goes on. They say I'm done. They send me home and don't give me my gun. At home I'm alone and I feel I've sinned. Now I might find the evil within. Thank you.